Hey guys, my name is Dean, author of the #1 best-selling Yoga Basics for Men ebook, creator of the top 5 best-selling Yoga Boost DVD, and this video is a 20-minute workout focused on strengthening your knees. Now this is a yoga workout, but it's probably unlike any yoga workout you've seen before because we're going to add in body weight exercises and calisthenics to make this a more effective, in less time, workout. So, still yoga, but pretty different from other yoga that you've seen. So if you're new to yoga, don't worry, this is beginner friendly. I want you to do your best, follow the technique, try to learn a little bit about your body in the process, and have fun. This is a challenging but fun workout. And if afterwards you enjoy the workout, make sure to like and subscribe or share it with a friend. So enjoy the workout, again, do your best, and I'll see you again at the end. We're gonna go on the ground and on your back. You don't need any equipment for this workout, by the way. So just lie on your back, and first off, really intense, I want you to press your hands into your thighs as hard as you possibly can, and press your thighs back into your hands. Again, as hard as you can, just really pushing, just for about 10 more seconds. So that's it. So as hard as you can, drive your knees toward your shoulders, and resist with your hands, pressing your thighs away from your upper body. 3 more seconds. 2, 1, and release. Plant your feet about hip width distant. We're going to lift up into a bridge. So again, feet about hip width apart. That's about 1 fist width. Your hips should squeeze toward one another so your glutes are really active here. Hips squeezing in toward the middle. Your thighs engaged. Your abs are tight to protect your lower back, so there's no pain in your back. Your hips are totally engaged. Your abs are engaged. You're going to feel your back working as well, but there shouldn't be pain in your back. All right, from here, single leg bridge. So I want you to bring your right leg straight out in front of you, just about 1 foot off the ground. So hovering, not way up here in the air like this, that's too easy. We're gonna keep it just about 1 foot off the ground. Now squeeze your left hip in toward the middle even more and really focus on squeezing your glute. So this is an awesome exercise to create strength in your glutes, but also improve that muscle awareness, which we need to begin with. 1 more breath here, keep pressing down through your left foot. Really squeezing the hips up, keeping the hips level, keeping your head relaxed on the ground, and then plant your right leg, and then lift your left leg straight out. Now we're going to squeeze that right hip in toward the middle, bringing your hip up a little bit higher, really pushing down through all 4 corners of your right foot. So pressing down through the big toe, pressing down through the heel, through the outside of the foot, keeping the hips level. So if you look at your hips from this position, your left hip should be level with the right hip. We've got 1 more breath here. Keep squeezing the right hip in. Keep pressing down hard through the right foot. All right, and then go ahead and plant your left foot and slowly release down. From here, we're going to move into a seated position, upright. This is called a boat pose. So I want you to bring your feet in about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet away from your hips. You're going to grab onto your knees with your hands and then sit as upright as possible. So push down into your hips, lift your chest up, get as tall as you possibly can in the seated position, and then I want you to slightly lean back. So you're aiming your sternum up at the ceiling and looking straight up. Now make sure that you're not letting your head fall back. You want to make sure that your neck is nice and long and you're using the strength of your neck and your upper back to hold your head upright. And then if you're feeling secure here, I want you to lift your arms straight out in front of you. See if you can lean back a little bit more. Now as you're doing this, you should feel lots of hip engagement. So the hip flexors are really turned on, your core is really turned on. And this is really good for developing core strength and also that hip flexor muscle activation. See if you can sit up a little bit taller and then lean back just a tiny bit more. 1 more breath. Getting as tall as you can, keeping a flat back, open chest, and relax. All right, okay, we're gonna move up into a standing position. We're gonna start off with some balancing. And balances are awesome exercises to help turn on your muscles and get your body warm. So you're gonna just do a basic balance, stand on 1 leg, your right foot, bring your left knee up to hip level, press down hard through your right heel, keep your shoulders directly on top of your hips directly above your standing ankle, and your planted foot facing straight forward. So make sure you're not turning your foot out to the side, but keeping that facing straight forward, and that's going to help with proper hip engagement. So you should feel your entire right thigh working here. You should feel the glute and the hip working, and you want to feel your left thigh working as you lift the knee up. For a little bit more of a challenge, press your hands into your thigh, or just the left hand into the thigh, as hard as you can, just like we did at the beginning. And stand up nice and tall. Straighten your right leg. One more breath. And then release and switch sides. So now on my left foot, I'm going to lift my right leg off the ground, push down hard through my left heel, making sure that left leg is straight, squeezing my left thigh, squeezing the left hip, and then really press your right hand into your right thigh. Push your thigh back up into your hand and stand up as tall as you can. So what we're doing here is turning on all of the muscles in your left leg. We're getting the ankle warm, warming up the knee, warming up the hip, the glutes, the calves, everything in the leg here. And this is really good because the more muscle we can activate, the better, more efficient workout we're going to have. So this works as a standalone workout, and it also works as a really good warm-up for your other stuff. One more breath. Keep pressing your hand into your thigh. Keep standing up tall. And then release. All right, next one is a chair pose, and this is a really great pose for strengthening your glutes and your hips and your core. Toes touch, heels about an inch apart. Bend your knees, squeeze your thighs toward one another so you feel your inner thighs engaging, and then bring your butt straight back as much as you can. Make sure you can see the tops of your feet. So if your knees are bent forward and you can't see the tops of your feet, bring your knees back a little bit more and then work on sitting deeper. At the same time, you want to keep the legs squeezing toward one another. That's going to help you build more strength in the inner thighs, which leads to more knee stability. And then go ahead and lift your arms up. This is going to challenge your core as you lift your arms up. And your back in this position is going to be slightly arched or neutral. So you want to make sure that you're not rounding your back. There shouldn't be any pain in your back. You want to feel your legs and your core active here. See if you can sit down a little bit lower. We're going to do one more breath. Draw the knees back, squeeze your glutes, squeeze the thighs toward one another, lift your arms a little higher, and stand up. All right, let's do a lunge. So right leg is forward, take a big step back with your left foot, and then I want you to square your hips straight forward. So make sure that your right hip is level with your left hip, and then you're pushing your right hip toward the ground. So this little motion to push your right hip toward the ground, and you'll really feel your right glute engage as you do that. Start with your knee over your ankle. You're gonna feel a stretch to the front of the left hip, and we're gonna add some dynamic lunges to this movement. So on an inhale, I want you to slowly release your left knee almost all the way to the ground, and then as you exhale, slowly bring it back up. Never resting your knee on the ground, just letting it barely touch, and then come back up. So slowly down, inhale. Hips stay under your shoulders, not letting the hips come forward, and then pushing back up, keeping your hips level the whole time. Squeezing the left thigh as you come up. Keep going. Notice that I'm not bringing my hips forward. I'm keeping them under the shoulders, getting deeper into my left hip as I sink, keeping the weight in my right leg, and then coming back up. Do a couple more. If you want to add a little more of a challenge, bring your arms overhead. Shouldn't be any pain in your back here. No pain in the knee because your weight is in your hip, not in the knee. And one more, slowly down. You're gonna wait from the thigh to the hip, coming back up. And then stand up all the way. Straight into the other side, keeping this workout really nice and efficient and quick. So now left leg is forward, left hip presses toward the ground, right hip lifts. That's going to help us get a better stretch through the right hip flexor. Knee over the ankle. And as you inhale, take it down. Hips under the shoulders, stretching through the front of the right hip, engagement through the whole left thigh and hip. Slowly coming back up. Just as slowly as you release down to the ground, and coming just as slowly back up. And the reason why moving slow like this is so effective is because this is what builds muscle mass. This is what builds strength. When you move quick, you can build explosive strength and explosive ability, but you're not building muscular strength, muscle mass, or you're not building as much control. So really slow controlled movement like this is what helps to build muscle. The more muscle you can build, the stronger your knees are going to be, especially when you're doing slow controlled body weight like we're doing now. At the same time, you're also working with the mobility of your hips, and the more mobility you have, the less at risk you are for injury. All right, last one. I can't remember if that was 5 or 6. Might be one more. And then slowly coming back up. All right, and then standing up all the way. All right, from here we're gonna go into an airplane. So we're gonna start off kind of like we did that lunge. Left leg back, left leg back, right leg forward. Press down through your right heel. Make sure that right hip is totally engaged. Hips are squared forward, arms along your sides. Take a deep breath in. And then balance. Press down through your right foot. Lift your left leg off the ground. Point your left toes toward the back. Squeeze your right thigh. So you're gonna feel stretching through the back of your right thigh. You're gonna turn out your right hip so your right glute really engages here. And then pull your chest forward away from your hips. Try to make a straight line from your back toes to the top of your head. Arms are open, chest is open, palms facing down. Feeling stretching all through the back of the right thigh, and both legs are working here. So left leg is squeezing up, right thigh, right hip is squeezing. One more breath here, and abs are tight to protect your spine. Belly button lifting to your lower back. And then slowly coming back to that lunge position and switching sides. Thanks for joining me for this workout today. Make sure you subscribe. We put out lots of videos like this on a very regular basis. And to get full access to all of my workouts, my programs, tutorials, and more, head to manfulyoga.com, sign up for a 7-day trial. It's just $1. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video.